Hey everyone, Matt back for photo news and reviews. Today I want to talk you through two different products that Nikon have just announced for shooters, a new DX lens and a new flash unit. So first up, there's a new 18 to 140 3.5 to 5.6 variable aperture lens. Looks like this is set to be a kit lens. Haven't seen details on what cameras this one's going to be coming out in terms of a kit with, but that's a nice range. It's a longer range. The 18 to 200 is a fantastic lens. It's a variable aperture as well, but by the looks of the sample shots of this one, it's not of the same build quality as the 18 to 200, and it won't be anywhere near that price. But it does have the latest generation VR in it, and they are claiming 4 full stops of compensation. So that's a 7.8 times zoom, that range, so it's pretty long. You know, there's the 18 to 55, obviously this is a lot bigger range than that one. It does have an ED lens element, which is, you know, extra low dispersion just means it's the highest quality elements. It helps improve the image quality overall, cuts down on issues of reflection inside the lens, which can lead to other problems. This does have the silent wave motor, obviously, it's latest generation, so it's going to work on all of your different cameras, whether it's your camera has a built-in autofocus motor or not. This is reasonably small. It weighs in at 490 grams, and it's going to be available next month, so September 2013. Pricing, as always, is variable by country. Who knows what it's going to come out as? It just came out today. Likely to be kit lens. Often there are some kit lenses that come out and just have astonishing image quality, great sharpness and control flaring and everything really well. Fingers crossed this is one of them. Now the other unit which piqued my interest is the SB300 flash. So it's not a full-size flash like this guy, but it is definitely a step up from using the built-in flash that your camera may have. The reason to use an external flash is if you have the flash really close to your focal plane, so say where your sensor is to your flash, pop up, you've got 2 inches there. The shadows that it can cast, it's coming straight in and straight back out. It's kind of like how a photocopier works, sending light out and bouncing it straight back in. The further you can get the line of light from the axis of your camera, the better. So this one does give you a variation of tilt, so you can bounce off the wall and that kind of thing. And it's that little bit higher up, which means you'll be able to cast shadows that give a slightly different effect than just the totally smashed straight on light. Now, interesting that they've called this one the 300 because it actually seems like it's better spec'd than the SB400. This one's got a range of motion up to 120 degrees. Of course, it's nowhere near as powerful as the bigger units such as the 700 and 900, but it's nice and small. It only weighs in at 97 grams, so next to nothing without the batteries in it. This one is actually being powered by AAA batteries, which to be honest I find fairly annoying. If you're like me and you carry around and have a whole bunch of AA's, then it's handy if everything is using them. And the fact that AA's are still more expensive and lower capacity, I'd personally rather be shooting with AA's. But you know, if you want to have the convenience of just a small carry around flash, then AA's make some sense. Now, one important thing to note that whilst this has TTL, so it will be able to talk to your camera, meter how much light it needs, see the scene and adjust its power accordingly, it isn't part of the creative lighting system. So this doesn't have the ability to sync up with other flashes and be told how much power to use, this and that. This is just an on-camera sort of unit. Something like, it looks like from the pictures that it doesn't even have an optical slave built in it. So if you want to be able to just hide a small flash in the background of a scene, then something like a cheap manual flash will probably do you better. But that's to be confirmed. I can't find anything in the press releases that mentions that it has an optical slave, and looking at the images I can't see the sensor for it, so I have to assume it doesn't have one. Again, it's not going to be that cheap. It'll definitely cost a lot more than one of the manual flashes like the Yongnuos or something like that. But if you're looking for TTL, then that's a decent option for you, especially if you're in the market for a tiny little one. That's pretty much all we know for now. The DX lens 18 to 140 and the SB300. If I can get samples of them to test out for you, I will as soon as possible. It's been pretty difficult getting loaner gear from Nikon lately. We'll see how we go. Leave me any questions or comments you have if you're interested in getting the 18-140 for yourself, or if you've got any predictions of what cameras it's going to be bundled with as a kit. Fire away. I'll see you soon. Cheers.